Hey everyone, welcome back. Today is a first review, and this is a new discovery set from PENHALIGON'S. They've launched a new line and it's called Potions and Remedies. This is the box that it comes in. My sister very kindly surprised me with a sample set. She popped into a PENHALIGON'S store over the weekend and got me this. So this is cool. Like I said, these are brand new. There's 5 in the collection. This is what it looks like. It comes in kind of a clear plastic cutout thing, and you can kind of pull the samples out this way, and it has a little booklet which is quite nice because it shows all of the bottle presentations and a little bit about the perfume. Inside the box you get this leaflet which kind of opens up, and you can see all 5 of the fragrances. And so yeah, we're going to do a first impression. We're going to just smell them on paper. If there's some good ones, I might put 2 of them on my hand, and then the ones I like, I'll take my time to go through them on my skin anyway, and then I'll come back and do a full review if I feel like they're worth a full review, so to speak. So yeah, very cool. I'm excited. I think the bottles look cool. The first one we're going to try is called Liquid Love. It comes in a very nice bottle. I quite like the design. They're kind of, I don't know if they're meant to look, with the name Potions and Remedies and this kind of old-fashioned style look to it, I'm thinking of kind of apothecary kind of style, like old medicine cabinets. So it says, Liquid Love, be careful you might fall in love. Looking for love was considered a dignified quest, alas, until the day of fruition. And then, the dear reader, all the troubles begin, true misery arriving unannounced. Lack of concentration, a loss of appetite, a sense of being elsewhere and on the brink, ah yes, always on the brink, of so much possibility. Rose to love in motion, ginger to kindle desire. Fresh sparkling notes gently caress until the spicy fruity edge bites. Helplessly, passionately addictive. So there you go, that's the one we're going to try first. It sounds like it's got rose in it and ginger. That's what we can gather from the little blurb. So again, I'm just going to spray these on paper for now, and then we'll come back and maybe do full reviews of the ones that I think are good. Okay. You get the rose immediately, and it's a fresh, uplifting, clean, bright rose. There's I'm trying to think how the ginger doesn't, I think the ginger gives it a little bit of like a fresh quality, but it's not, it doesn't, the spice part of it doesn't hit you. It's not like, it's not overly spicy. You don't get that kind of fiery kind of quality that ginger can have. Interesting. I think you get fresh rose. It's ever so slightly sweet. It's a little bit watery. It leans maybe just a little bit on the feminine side, I would say. You would definitely have to like rose to enjoy it. There is something a little bit fruity about it. From a first impression, I think it smells nice. It's quite pretty. I'm going to spray it on my wrist here. So I'm going to smell it on my skin just to see if it's how different it is. It's not overly strong. It's quite soft, subtle. It doesn't blow me away in terms of like the strength of it, I mean. You get a little bit more of the bite of the rose on the paper. It came across a little bit light and fresh. On my skin, I can smell a little bit more of the depth of the rose notes, and the rose is quite clear. I think I would have liked more of the spiciness, like a little bit more ginger or pink pepper or something a little bit more fiery. But it's pretty. I get rose, it's fresh, it's bright, it's a little crisp, and it's backed by a little bit of a fruity kind of sweetness. Soft on the skin though. I don't feel like the projection and the sillage will be very big with this. I think it will sit close to the skin. It feels light. We'll see how it develops. In general, I think it smells good. I like it, but it's maybe a little bit soft on the performance. We'll see. So going and looking at the actual notes for this properly, we get ginger, pink pepper, which is something I mentioned I'd like more of. I think you get a hint of spice, but it's not overly spicy. Okay, so ginger, pink pepper, turmeric and chili, hazelnut, rose and cashmeran. The cashmeran isn't so strong that it puts me off or jumps out at me, which is good. I'm not hugely a fan of the material personally. As it stands at the moment, I don't smell anything nutty, but that could come more as it dries down. I think for me, on my skin chemistry, the spices at the moment are a little bit more subtle. I'm wondering maybe if they'll come up more as it goes, or whether that's as spicy as it gets. So it's a subtle spice. There's no fruity quality in here, there's no fruits listed, but there is something kind of watery and sweet and slightly fruity about it. For my senses, I get that in the background. There's no fruits listed on the note list, so I don't know where it's coming from, I don't know what it is, so to speak. For me, there's something watery and slightly fruity about it somewhere in there, regardless of, you know, it being listed or not. The spices, mellow, subtle, not in your face, not overly spicy, quite unisex, I would say, leaning a little bit on the feminine. If you're a guy that can wear things like Lyric Man by Amouage, you'd have absolutely no problem with this, you know, no worries at all. The next one on the list is called A Balm of Calm. Peace of mind unwind. As is by some mysterious conflagration of the planets, suddenly the impossible seems unimportant, the most terrible seems inconsequential, and the dramatically disastrous insignificant. Lavender, an instant serenity remedy. Float in a cloud of geranium, rum and soft woods. Breathe in a dose of composure with PENHALIGON'S tranquility blend. So there you go, our Balm of Calm. Kind of whimsical name, I quite like it. So the official notes for this: cardamom, clary sage and lavender with geranium, iris and rum, sandalwood, vetiver and oakwood. A Balm of Calm. Okay. It's a little bit kind of barbershoppy. It's kind of shaving foam kind of vibe. You get the interesting. It's kind of, firstly, I do actually quite like it. I get something that's a little bit like shaving foam cream. You get a little bit of lavender, a little bit of cardamom, where you get that kind of fresh, kind of aromatic, fresh quality. I'm not sure if it's maybe the iris that's giving it this kind of shaving foamy kind of vibe. I'm not sure. Or the accord that is called iris in this. It's kind of wrapping it up into something that's a little bit more barbershoppy, the way that these notes kind of combine. The rum element, I'm trying to think whether it reminds me of any kind of boozy quality. Maybe not totally. I don't feel like I quite get booze with this. I get, like I say, some kind of aromatic, gentleman-y, shaving foam, kind of barbershop style, very clean, very kind of, again, masculine barbershop, but without being too aromatic or too spicy like some can go down. And it's not like full-on shaving foam, I should point that out. It's not like super creamy, super foamy, but it's in that direction, in going in that ballpark. It's subtly sweet. It's got a little bit more of an old school kind of classical vibe to it, and leans more on the masculine side. In general, I'm not a fan of barbershop fragrances. I don't typically gravitate towards them or find them particularly interesting or things that I would like to wear myself. This one is quite nice. I would definitely wear it on skin and see how this one goes, how long it lasts, if it develops a little bit. But in general, I'm actually quite liking the vibe of it. I think that smells quite nice. If you're into the more kind of classical barbershop style things, you might enjoy this one. From a first impression, yeah, quite pleasant. Next on the list is Oh, the Audacity. You might fulfill all your dreams. A caution to all those who were of the persuasion that pleasures are best delayed, rules there to be respected, convention followed. You may find your world turn upside down. You may be on a one-way path to the discovery of new sensations, to intense delights, to new horizons of unimagined pleasures. How would it feel to dare greatly with a little fear, not formula? Incense brings confidence to an audacious brew. Reach for the stars with pepper and orange absolute, that rise from a bold base of leather and vanilla. Reassuringly soft, yet strong, why not take the plunge? So the notes for this one read black pepper with elemi resin, orange blossom, frankincense, saffron and rose, leather, vanilla and ambergris. I quite like that. Interesting. I get the first thing that I got was the kind of sweet resin with this kind of warm spice. And then you breathe it a little longer and you get the leather. This is very pleasant. I think you get the... I like this. It's got you get like this sweet, I think it's the elemi resin, which is a little bit sweet, but you've got this kind of peppery kind of spice thing going on. It's warm, spiced, with this resinous quality, and then this feeling of like leather behind that, like a brown leather behind this kind of peppery resin, with just a hint of, oh, I get a little bit of the frankincense. That's nice. I like the way that this is blended. Okay, I'm getting frankincense, which is like, it's more... If you've ever burned like actual pieces of frankincense on a charcoal and you've burned it and you get the like the frankincense smoke, I get that kind of vibe. I get like frankincense burning in the air, or like an incense stick or something, where you get that kind of frankincense. I get this sweet resin, I get dabble of warm spice, and this nice kind of soft leather, brown leather in the background. This is good, I like that one. There's just enough sweetness to make it kind of, you kind of want to smell it more. Okay, I'm gonna spray that on my other arm. Oh, I get more of the frankincense on my skin. Okay, this is cool, I like this one. I get warm resin with this very nice frankincense note, with a dabble of spice and leather behind it, and it works really well. Like, I like that. And there's just enough sweetness where you're drawn into wanting to smell it more, because it's not overly sweet where it's cloying, but there's enough sweetness to make it kind of nice, if that makes sense. I really like that. I'm impressed. That's the best one so far. I'm digging that one. That's cool. I'm not sure it's 1,000,000% unique. Like, I've smelled, frankincense seems to be kind of on a bit of a trend in the last couple of years. I noticed the last couple of years, smelling a handful of fragrances that kind of utilize frankincense in particular as a forefront note. And I feel like this is definitely going in that direction. I think there's an Amouage that used quite a lot of frankincense. There's a Memo Paris that I think had a tiger on the front of it. That one's very heavy frankincense. It seems to be kind of popular at the moment. This one is one of the nicer ones, I would say. I like the pepperiness, I like the sweetness, I like the other resins in there, not just frankincense. And I think the vibe of the leather behind it makes it a little bit more interesting. That's cool. If I was given a bottle of that, I would very happily wear it. I think autumn, winter, daytime or nighttime, maybe just a little bit more on the casual side for me. I wouldn't wear it with a suit, but I would wear it with like a nice shirt or something like that. I'm just thinking of like scenarios in my head of like how would that fit into my life, so to speak. Not that I wear suits very often apart from funerals and weddings, but you know what I mean. I like that one. That's a hit for me. I think that's cool. I like the combination. It smells good. So far, all of them are pretty good. I'm genuinely impressed. I thought I'd be kind of disappointed with these, but these are some of the better Penhaligons that I've tried. The ones with the animal heads are usually, I'm not into those. I don't think any of them smell particularly brilliant. These ones are good though. I think these are a lot better done than the animal figurehead ones personally. Okay, we're going to move on to the next. The next one is called A Kiss of Bliss. Feel all the hallelujahs. And one day, the sun comes out. The birds are singing, they always were. The blues have bid farewell, and doubt has decamped. You two sing from the hilltops and dance and twirl all night long. Your blessings are abundant, your arms full. There's nowhere to go now, you're here. With just a touch of the optimist ointment, you'll feel all the hallelujahs. Enjoy the day with some elation spray. This is quite funny. Enjoy the day with some elation spray, a gateway to gratitude and eternal floral bliss. Feel lucky with clover, order in optimism with musk. It's time to wash away those blues with a little hope, joy and happiness. A kiss of bliss. Okay, so the notes for this one: bergamot, clover, rose, heliotrope, jasmine, matcha tea, which is not a note that you see all that often, moss, patchouli, and musk. So far we're on a roll. I think every single one has been good so far, which is rare for me. So we'll give this a spritz and we'll see how it goes. This is the softest, like the weakest, I would say, in terms of its power. It is delicate. Wow, that is really soft. I think this is my only criticism. It's almost too soft. Like you're almost thinking, am I actually even smelling anything? It is very soft. Funnily, I do get a matcha tea vibe. I don't get a whole lot of the citrus. I get hay. I get like hay and matcha tea. That's the two things I get. I get like a hay field with a matcha tea. I've got some matcha tea in the cupboard. I very rarely drink it. I don't really drink any kind of tea or coffee. But I am familiar with matcha tea, and you can get a vibe of it. But I get hay field, a little bit of matcha tea. But it's very soft. It's like really, you're kind of thinking, is there anything there? It's you know, it's not strong. What I can smell is pleasant enough. I can't smell much of anything else, but I have to kind of really concentrate to smell it. I mean, it's really not a strong fragrance. It's subtle. I don't think from, at least from this, I feel like the projection and the sillage on this one would be nil, like nothing, just like, you know, this. I might be wrong, I will test it on skin, don't worry. But from a first impression on card, I'm trying to sense the strength. This is really soft. I don't think this is going to come off your skin very much at all. From what I can smell, it's pleasant. Like I say, I get hay, I get matcha tea, a very mild, subtle sweetness, not overly floral, at least in the top notes. Pleasant. I will test it out on skin, and if I feel like it's worth talking about, I'll do a full review. Only criticism is it's very, very soft, and it could do with being more concentrated, I would guess, or reformulated in a way that it has a little bit more of an impact in the scent. It is very mild. Okay, the last one of the set is Vroom, which says, and everything becomes possible, as if inebriated by a dose of blooming spring and a spoonful of the invigorating enthusiasms, your energy is in abundance. This is the nation without borders, the possibilities are limitless, and a state where all feel free will. The re-dynamism of your daydreams, a quest fulfilled. Just be careful you don't go too far. A dare too much or dream too big. Impatience replaces hesitancy. Nothing can stop you now. Like a rousing remedy of tiger juice, osmanthus and magnolia offer a new life force field. Radiant citrus and fruits unveil a succulent, dynamic vitality that ricochets with woodiness and floral leather. It's full steam ahead. Okay, so the notes for this one: apricot, mandarin orange, clary sage and bergamot, osmanthus, magnolia, rose, ambrofix, Georgie wood, which I'm not sure what that is, and leather. So this is the last one from the set. Another one that's quite soft. I get the citruses immediately. Okay, I get citrus. It's a juicy citrus. Maybe a little bit of the apricot. I think the kind of orangey kind of citrus vibe is more in the front, in the top notes. Okay, so what I'm feeling from this, from a top, like, this is, I think, gonna change as it develops into the dry down. At least looking at the note list, it's got some kind of amber molecules and leathers and things like that, and woods. From a top note, I'm getting juicy citrus, orange, a little bit fruity, and a kind of a almost icy, supery, kind of musky, woody kind of thing over the top of it. This is the least interesting and my least favourite from the whole line. Yeah, I'm getting these kind of synthetic woody musk things coming in. This one doesn't interest me at all. I will wear it on skin, but from just smelling it on card, that's the least interesting for me. I can feel it changing already. The juicy kind of citrus is already kind of fading away. The synthetic things in the base are not kind of working for me on my own personal taste level. That's a pass from me from a first impression, should I say. That's my least favourite. To kind of go back through, I would say the rose one feels a little bit closer to the skin. I feel like I have to come really quite close to smell it, considering I only sprayed it 10 minutes ago. It hugs the skin, it's a little bit soft. It's very nice though, I think it smells good, it's pleasant. Could be a little bit stronger. The frankincense one was on the other hand. This one I like. It's got a nice kind of... In fact, it's got more sweet, I would say. I still get the frankincense-y thing, the resinous-y thing, and the leather, and this kind of warm... What was spice is turning into the more of a warm sweetness, I would say. Yeah, the last one, the Vroom, is my least favourite for sure. Okay, so I would say Liquid Love, quite nice. If you like rose, you might want to get a sample. I would say a Balm of Calm was quite pleasant if you like more kind of a little bit more barbershop-y kind of vibes. Again, pleasant. The Audacity was my favourite, with that kind of warm, incensey, leathery kind of frankincense vibe. A little bit more, that's I think the strongest one. I get more of a oomph from that one. Not as weak as some of the other ones. A Kiss of Bliss was the weakest in terms of smell, where I could just like perceive a little bit of it. Like, I mean, it's very mellow. Again, a little bit of hay, a little bit of the matcha tea, and then I couldn't really get a whole lot else. Vroom, my least favourite. Kind of an inviting citrus opening, but then just goes into these more kind of woody, ambery, synthetic things that you can kind of smell almost immediately, which kind of puts me off. So that's my first impressions. In general, pretty positive. I think there's three in there that I like for sure. I will take my time in wearing them on skin, seeing how they develop, seeing how long they last, how well they perform, if they, you know, come off the skin a little bit more. I would say all of them, from a first impression, feel a little bit closer to the skin. The Audacity one, I think, will be the best performer. I can feel that it's stronger than the others. But the others, I think, sit a little bit kind of closer to the skin. So we'll see how it goes. Hope you enjoyed the first impressions. Maybe you'll find it useful in whether you want to check out the samples or not. I will see you soon with some more videos. Take care, everyone. Bye.
One time he disappeared for 2 or 3 days. When he came back, they asked him where he'd been, and he said, "Oh, just sailing."